Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world. You're back with LJ Nation. Chats with Lou, number 3. We were on live stream earlier today, and one of the guys over at Galactic Gamers, I believe it was Landon, was asking about this game called Identity. He asked if I could do some research on it and give my opinions. He thought it'd be a great talking point. And man, this game looks incredible. But before I go ahead and jump in, I want to thank everyone who's given me feedback on Chats with Lou. It is something that I really like to produce for the channel. And I know I said it was going to be an uncut and unedited version, and I plan to keep it that way. I think raw audio and raw footage is just more genuine, and I think people can relate to that a little better. So if I fumble through words or whatever, you're going to be hearing that, and I think that's good. However, people were saying that having segments throughout the video make it a little more enjoyable to listen to. So I'm going to try to do that to the best of my ability. So kicking off, I'm going to kind of give an overview of Identity, and then what I think about it, and then if I have any reservations on the game, what are those and why? So Identity is this game made by Asylum Entertainment, and apparently they're using Unreal technology. So anyone who knows any games that run Unreal technology, you'll know what kind of power that possesses. So Identity claims to be this open world MMORPG with complete freedom and a complete focus on player interaction. And so when they say complete focus on player interaction, now again, this is all what they're claiming. And so keep that in mind throughout this whole thing, because people are going to claim whatever makes their company look the best, right? So this company is based out of Ottawa, Canada. And so far on their Kickstarter page, they've raised 187,859 Canadian dollars, and their goal was 150,000 Canadian dollars with over 4,000 backers. So this project had gotten backed, and they started it back in 2015. And on their website here, on their fact checker slot on their Kickstarter, they were talking that they need 2 years to get a beta off the ground, and that was January 5th. So we're past 2 years, so we should be expecting something soon, but I haven't found anything that says that they are releasing a beta, and I will get into that in a bit because that's something I'm a little worried about. So what is Identity? It's kind of a breakaway from this open world standard of MMORPGs of like grinding and leveling up and subscription fees and, quote, pay to win, as they put it. Now, as I was going through doing research on Identity, it really is a mix, in my opinion, between Grand Theft Auto, The Sims, and World of Warcraft, if that makes any sense. So, but they do their own spin on it. So it's, you live in this society and you can play as anyone you want. So you can play as just a regular civilian, a criminal, a police officer, and a fireman, a businessman, a real estate agent. Really, whatever you want to play as, you can in this game. They said it's going to be completely player and interaction focused, besides little things like shops and maybe, trivial things that I guess people don't necessarily want to be. People might not want to be the cashier at a restaurant or something, and so they'll probably automate that process. But other than that, it seems like you can really be just about anything. They said you can even elect officials in your town to like make laws and taxes and policies, and over time you'll start unlocking new abilities, but those abilities don't seem to be a hindrance on you playing with your friends. They really stress this feel of jumping into the game and playing with whoever you want, regardless of how long you've been playing. And that seems to be really cool, and something that our MMORPGs should work towards, in my opinion. And so they said that vehicles are going to handle and crash like real vehicles. Weapons are going to fire like real weapons. And you're even going to be able to do some social things on your downtime. They claim to be able to watch real, full movies in the movie theater with your friends. You are going to be able to go to karaoke bars and go to concerts and all sorts of those things. And I know that when I start saying those activities, it kind of sounds like we've been down this road before. I know there was like that home program that I believe PlayStation came out with where they were offering the same thing. But this seems more along the lines of kind of a WoW feel and graphic style. And if like you mix the graphic style of WoW and The Sims. So it might be a little more, I guess, feel like a game than the PlayStation Home. I believe it was PlayStation. And so they're really going to dumb down the text communication and focus on voiceover chats. So you're going to probably need a microphone in order to play efficiently. You're not going to need one to play, I would assume, but having one will help you out. And when you speak, your actual voice will come through your character, and their mouth is going to move accordingly, according to the developers. I don't know how realistic that's going to be, but I would assume the mouth would at least open up and down at the minimum. And so you can even do things that were kind of unheard of, and you can make your own music using your own instruments in the game, and so you can write your own songs and then eventually start playing at local shops and work your way up to playing in concert if people actually like your music. And now you're starting to get into a whole new realm, right? Like if you're writing your own music and then you have you know people who are writing record deals playing this game as well to scope out people, and they hear your music and they actually want to sign you in real life. I mean, that would be incredible. Libraries are going to have player-written books that you can buy. Art galleries are going to have actual art pieces for sale that people had, and so you can make an art piece in the game and then sell it in your own art gallery. Now, on the side of more casual things, you can do like paintball with friends or go on hunting expeditions, and then you can even like make different items to sell in the store. So they said you can make t-shirts by choosing your own fabric and having like different symbols put on that piece of fabric. Now, if someone comes into the store and buys that, they will now own that shirt that you just made, and they'll own it for forever, which is pretty cool. Now, the items in game that are made by people in like the civilians of the game, their items are priced based on supply and demand. So if one store has 10 of your shirts that you've made, that's going to be a lot lower than if a store only has one of the same shirt. And so because of that, they're going to offer like delivery missions for civilians of taking one package from point A to point B, and then you get paid in-game currency for that. And then you'll even be given a smartphone in your in-game character, and you can have different apps to use in-game as well. Now, then they dived into having real estate in the game. And so real estate works that every house and every apartment in the world of this realm is available for purchase, and then you can either live in it or rent it. And so you can even work your way up to owning factories too and leasing them out to different companies within the game. And so apartments are unlimited. There's an unlimited amount of apartments that you can buy. But houses are whatever's in that world on that server is the only houses to buy. And apparently they're scattered all throughout the land. So there's going to be different suburbs, I suppose, and then also houses out in the wilderness. And they even showed someone who was in an RV like fishing. So I guess you can also have like RVs and you can live out of them and just travel around this world. And so when you buy a house, you are the only person on that server in that spot that can own that house, unless you decide to sell it or rent it, which is a really cool concept. So at the beginning of the game, people are going to be running all over the place to try to find houses. Now, I don't know if they're going to start updating the server and then scattering new houses throughout this world. I'm not sure. Or is it just the first 10,000 people that get on the game and then every server only has 1,000 houses, and then they get booked up, then you're screwed. I don't know. I'm not sure. They didn't explain that. So when you buy a house, it's going to come, as they said it, shabby, and it's going to need to be redone and furnished. And so you're going to be able to upgrade everything, like the floors, as well as the walls and the wallpaper and the appliances and the countertops, and all that can be bought with your in-game currency. And most of the furniture is going to be functional. So your appliances are going to be functional. I don't think you're going to need to feed your character. It's not like The Sims in that regard, but they will be functional to a slight degree. But your couches you can sit on, your bed you can sleep on, your TV you can actually stream your friends playing Identity on the TV, which is kind of cool. And then your radio will actually stream live radio stations. So they really are trying to immerse you in this world, which is pretty cool. And so you can take out food out of the refrigerator, and you can even store clothes in your closet. And so you are going to be able to kind of take all the items that you have in this in-game world and then store them in your house. And so the pictures that I was talking about earlier, you can then frame those and put those on your wall. Now, diving into like player characteristics, and this is the last bit of my notes here that I have on just what the game is going to entail, but they're going to have extensive customization. According to the developers, they're going to have so many different options. You can completely tailor your character to look however you look in real life. And then you'll also have different talents that you can then upgrade your character with. And so they were talking about how if you are a police officer, you're going to be outfitted with a lot more characteristics and weapons and abilities that other civilian characters aren't going to be able to have. And so if you choose to be a criminal, you're kind of going to be outnumbered by a police officer who's actually trying to move up the ranks in being a better police officer. So hopefully they balance that out a bit, but that's something I'm going to get in here in a second. And so the talent trees are going to be revealed at a later date. They said they don't have them all tweaked out yet, but apparently whatever decisions that you make in the game, whatever career you want to choose, there will be a designated path of talents that you will then acquire going down that path. And so they said that there was things like fishing and hunting that you can do as a player, as well as a lot of illegal activities. They said anything from producing drugs to smuggling drugs and firearms you can do. You can apply to join multiple careers. You can become a DEA agent or a SWAT member. And so you are going to have to focus on whatever your job is and do it really well in order to move up the ranks to make more money, and so on and so forth. And so as far as PvP goes, they said that an MMORPG is not an MMORPG if you don't have PvP, according to them. A little bit of a tongue twister there. But different gangs can declare war on each other, and so when they accept that, they can then like have territorial battles within the game. PvP will also have like capture points, and they said it would look a little bit like the capture points in Battlefield, where you'll have like different cartels and you'll have to capture a certain area, and then you'll get more points for capturing that area. And so they said they're going to be continuously releasing new screenshots and videos. So what do I think? Well, I personally think that this is the way that MMORPGs should be played. I think that having complete character customization is always a soft spot in my heart, but having everything be player focused, from a political system to a job system to every single aspect of the game is player driven and player focused, if done right, would be absolutely incredible. And having no subscription fee would be great for people like me who are in college. Anybody. No one wants to pay a subscription fee. But having all of this in play and relying on the people of the community to make it better is the best way to do things, in my opinion. Look at games like Minecraft. We were just talking about that this morning, where, I mean, that's a game where the community took it and ran with it and made mods and different customizations and just completely opened up a whole new area. Like the developers created this framework of a game and then said to the community, now run with it and do whatever you want with it. And if the majority of people like it, then that was probably the right thing to do. And I think that is really how the game should be. So according to the website, they said there's not going to be a subscription fee. However, you are going to have to pay for the game up front, and then once you pay, there are going to be things in game to buy. However, they are going to stay away from the pay to win game aspect of it, and so they're going to ensure that like items and upgrades purchased with real money will not give a notable advantage in game. That's just going to be something, if you want to do, you can, but you do not have to do that because it won't give you any advantage. That's just for personal gain. And so again, with the beta, we don't really know where it's going to come out. And so the game looks to be pretty large, and it seems to support it's going to seem to support a lot of people on every given server. And so you can probably expect World of Warcraft type feel with just players everywhere. Hopefully, if enough people, you'll hopefully have 4,218 players playing it, because those are the people who backed it. So judging by their website too, it seems like you can become a member and kind of get your name on a roster list to play the beta, is what it seems like as I'm navigating their website right now, and as I was doing a little bit as preparing for this video. And I don't necessarily know what that is going to entail, but hopefully we start seeing something soon. I mean, they've almost raised $400,000, and apparently they have almost 10,000 citizens already in the game. So you can join and then become a citizen and hopefully start playing the beta soon. It says if you become a citizen, you can actually get the beta before the beta, so it's like the pre-beta, I suppose. And what I hope that they do with that is say, okay, here's the beta, now we want as much feedback as humanly possible, and we just want to keep making this thing even better, because I think that the potential is through the roof with this game. So we'll see. Now, the downsides, and I do have a few of them, unfortunately. So the last update on their website was December 20th of 2016. Now, to me, that's a big red flag, because, I mean, if you got a game that's becoming this hyped and is starting to gain traction, you got to be updating this thing more often. And I know that they said on their website that they only have a team of a couple people, and I completely understand that, but people got to know what's going on. I mean, if you're going to start picking up a lot of, market share within this MMORPG community, you're going to have to update people a lot more. Now, the other thing that I'm worried about is, just like with anything else, there's going to be people who try to ruin the fun for everyone. Now, what I'm worried about is, are people just going to be criminals and just start shooting up the place because it's fun and they think it's, it's funny to do so? Or is there going to be a system in place where, if you want to be a criminal, you can only be a criminal in like these quote missions, and it doesn't really affect the outside body of the community, and so citizens aren't going to actually, it's going to kind of be like that Grand Theft Auto style, where you're going to walk up to something, like start a mission, and then that pulls you away from the game, and then you're in like a simulated thing. I'm not sure, because if it does affect everyone, I can see people getting pretty pissed off if you've worked so hard to get your apartment, all furnished and everything, and then someone comes in and just trashes it, and there's no police officers around because they're not online that day, and all of a sudden all your hard work's gone. Now, if that's the case, then that's not really cool. I wouldn't like that at all, because it even said that you can even kidnap people and take them away, and police officers will have to come and rescue you and stuff. So what do you do then when you get kidnapped? So there's a lot of things that are uncertain, but from the looks of it, it seems like it's going to be a really cool game. And so if you want to know more, you can go to Identity, that's IDENTITY RPG.com, and you can check out more and become a citizen and everything like that. And if you just type in Identity Game, their Kickstarter page will come up and you'll be able to see that. So I'll go ahead and put the link in the description of the video. But that's currently my thoughts on Identity. I'm really looking forward to some more updates. I'm certainly going to subscribe to their page and see what's going on that regard, because if this comes out for the PC sometime soon, I definitely want to be on there playing it and live streaming it and just showing everything that it can do, because I think that the potential is pretty great with this. But I would like to know what you think in the comment section, because this is going to be a game that's focused on the community, so I want the community's input with this as well. So if you're new here, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. If you are returning, please hit the like button if you liked the video. And if you didn't like the video, go ahead and give a dislike button hit. But I would like to know why and give us your feedback, because we're always looking to improve the channel. And as always, my name is Lou, and I will see you next time.